Wow, I've never done this before.
It's also my second, third, fourth time. So, hi Megan, how are you? Can you turn your phone a bit?
I was gonna say, should I rotate? There you
Yeah.
go.
Thanks so
Wow,
much for
this
your
is so
time,
cool.
madam.
No, no problem.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are
Okay,
you?
perfect. No, I can't complain. I just, by way of introduction, so Megan and sister, right, started a small blog on sister, right?
No, she's my brother's girlfriend.
Okay, brother's girlfriend
Julia. Yeah.
started a blog on Instagram about their journey being in Switzerland and contracting the virus. And I thought they've got such a educational, valuable story. And I thought, because I'm trying to create awareness here in Paarl regarding the coronavirus. We know what happened this week. We're starting lockdown on Friday. Anyway, so tell us a bit about your journey from Switzerland, what it is like to be having the virus, your diet. Yeah, just a quick give people some valuable information.
Okay, so firstly, I think I want to tell everyone that we traveled really safely. We were very, very cautious about the way we traveled. And when we went over, there were no travel bans at the time. We contracted the virus, I mean, after a lot of like family debate of who caught it and who gave it to everyone else. I think what we figured out is that we went out to a bar one night for my brother's birthday, and it was the only night that we went out. We just went to the grocery store and we were kind of eating at home. And we went to a bar the one night that was really full. There were a lot of people and a lot of international travelers in these sorts of places. So we reckon that that's where we picked it up. 2 days later, we started showing symptoms. The buzz about the coronavirus was going on around the world. It was already prevalent in China, but there was no way that I thought we had the coronavirus. Like there's no way it crossed my mind. Anyway, we traveled back to Cape Town. We traveled very, very safely. We were very cautious, had masks, had gloves, everything, a lot of hand sanitizer. And when we got back to Cape Town, my brother just had this gut feeling that he needed to go for a test. And I was like, you're being a drama queen. There's no ways we have the coronavirus. We just have flu. So anyway, he went, and 24 hours later, we got a call from his doctor, and his test had come back positive, and we were absolutely shocked. At that point in time, I think there were only 30 cases of corona or 35 cases of corona in South Africa. So we were one of the first people that contracted the coronavirus.
Wow.
As soon as we found out he was positive, we went for tests. We obviously came out positive as well. And we'd spent 2 weeks in close proximity. So, I mean, when his test came out positive, we were like, well, we definitely have it. Like, it's almost 100% certain that we have it. So yeah, and I mean, up until that point, I think we found out that we were positive maybe like 5 days after our symptoms started. So when our symptoms started, they were headache, fever, very normal symptoms for a flu. I had a sore throat and swollen glands, so did my mom. We all had very achy muscles. You know how you feel when you flu-y? You just like your body aches. So that all felt like pretty normal. We all had a dry cough, which I believe is very common and a typical corona symptom. And then the other major symptom that we experienced was extreme fatigue. We were all very, very tired. For most of us, so pretty much all of us, except for my dad, I would say like a week later, all of those more flu symptoms subsided, but the extreme fatigue continued. So yeah, that's the story of how we contracted it and what the symptoms were like. What else can I share with you guys?
Yeah, no, so tell me, so you contracted in Switzerland. Did you stop over? I saw on your blog you stopped over at Dubai. You of course went past there, not gone. You went to Cape Town. They didn't pick it up there. What were the tests like at the airports?
Okay, so our flight flew via Dubai. So we were in the Dubai airport for 3 hours. And I can confidently say that while we were in the airport, I mean, you can never be 100% certain, but I really do not think it was possible that we would have picked up the virus there or left it anywhere because we traveled so carefully. But anyway, that's neither here or there. That's in the
Yeah.
past. When we landed in Cape Town, as we walked, just before you walk through customs on the international arrivals, they had like not a booth, but like a section that you had to walk through, and there was a heat sensor. So it's almost like a camera that you stand in front of, and it picks up heat on your body. It's quite interesting and weird to stand in front of. And I suppose they're looking for heat like in your head area. So that would like show up a darker red or purple color. But we all passed through there no problem. Like they didn't stop any of us. I don't know that any of us had a temperature. I think my brother did at that point in time. I don't think I had a temperature at that point in time. My brother Mark got through fine. As I said, we all did. So, and that's like, it's not really a test. It's more like a screening.
Yeah.
So we all passed the screening on the way in. So, you know, in terms of like the effectiveness of that, obviously wasn't a heat detector and a temperature are not enough to determine whether you've got the coronavirus or not.
Yeah, no, 100%. Okay, so now you get back into South Africa. Your brother says you have to go for tests, and you are positive. What happens after that? Do they say they drive you home? They say you're staying inside. What happens after that?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
but
know
first
what's
tell
so
me about
crazy?
the test. Sorry, first tell me about the test, the physical test.
Well, I'm sure you've had a look at our Instagram page and we've posted a few things about the test. They're not fun, okay, firstly.
Yeah.
They're really uncomfortable. So they need a swab because this virus is a respiratory tract virus. So the infection happens in your respiratory tract, so like in your nose and your throat. So that's why, you know, wearing a mask and covering this up so that the virus molecules can't get into your respiratory tract is so important. And which is also why they try and encourage you to not touch your face with dirty hands, because you could be putting the virus into your respiratory tract. After we got tested, we were so lucky that we didn't go and see any friends. Like I saw, literally landed and saw no one. But so, what was your question again? There's so much to tell.
Yeah, no, just
Sorry?
physically, what's the test all about? You said something about the earbud and
Right.
at the back.
Yes. So because it's a respiratory tract infection, a respiratory tract virus, they have to get samples out of your respiratory tract. So they've got to get one out of your nose, but it goes really deep into your nostril, like really deep, which is the most, like, there's no reason that anything or anyone would have ever had needed to go that far into your nose. So it's not a sensation that a normal human being would be used to. So it's very strange.
Yeah.
And then they also have to get a swab from down your throat, but they have to go quite deep, which is also really not that comfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then our first test, we had blood tests done, but then the second test, which we had yesterday, they didn't take blood. They just, I'm going to get the name wrong, but there's another name for it's a PC something that they, just to get like the mucus and saliva that they need to see if you're positive. Yeah.
Yeah, so you're mentioning the second test, so that means you're under quarantine. No one's allowed to come in, no one's allowed to go out. And then come to your house for the second test. How long before the first test and the second test did they come?
Okay, so ideally, and also because we're one of the first cases in the country, and because they're trying to work out how this virus behaves, we were very lucky to have a second test. At the moment, so what they say is that if you show symptoms, you need to wait 14 days and quarantine yourself for 14 days, because in 14 days, the virus works its way out of your system. Like your immune system fights it off if you have a healthy immune system. And then after 14 days, you should be fine. So we waited 14 days between us getting our first test, which came out positive, to getting our second test. So we're still waiting on the results for that. But yeah, a message that I want to put out there is that my family and I are healthy people. We're fit, we eat well, we stay hydrated. And all because you catch the coronavirus, it doesn't mean you're going to die. Like, there's a lot of scary stories going on about the coronavirus. If you are immune compromised, or if you are a little bit older, like our parents' generation, you know, like 60 and above, that can put you in a position where contracting the virus can be a little bit more dangerous for you. And your recovery and your care after that is going to be a little bit more intense. But for you and I, you look like a relatively healthy guy. I'm healthy. For me, the experience with contracting the virus and healing from it was very similar to a normal flu situation for me. I do think it's gone on a lot longer. And this virus is a lot more contagious than the flu. So if and when you get it, or you think you might have it, or you think that you've come in contact with someone that might have it, with the flu, you don't really have to go into quarantine. It's not that serious. But this virus, because it spreads so quickly, and it is a little bit more severe for those people who are older and immune compromised, we have to make sure that we are quarantining ourselves and not coming into contact with more humans.
Yeah. So I mean, and lastly, so I wanted to ask you, so if they say there isn't a cure, and how are you guys still positive, or have you been diagnosed as negative yet? And how long, what's that period? And if there's no cure, how do you get healthy?
Okay, so no, that's a great question. There is no cure yet for this disease. So what that means is, if you contract it, they can't like fix it. So if you get sick, there's no specific medication dedicated to the coronavirus. So if you contract it, there's nothing that they can give you. But what they are working on is a vaccine. And a vaccine is a prophylactic, which means that it's a preventative. I wouldn't say preventative cure, but it's a preventative, what would I call it? Yeah, preventative vaccine. It's something that you take before. So they're working on that now. And when I say they, it's all over the world. How long they're going to take to come up with this, we don't know. You know, any medicine, to go from like creation to going onto the shelves to be safe for human consumption, that always takes a very long time, because they have to test it. So they've got to try and do this obviously as quickly as possible, but as safely as possible, so that us humans can take the vaccines and know that there's not going to be any other knock-on effect. So I mean, we're hoping that the vaccine comes out sooner rather than later, and I'm sure that the moment it comes out, they're going to circulate that around the world as quickly as possible. But between now and then, we've got to just make sure that we spread it, that we don't spread it, that we spread it as slowly as possible. The virus spreading is inevitable. It is going to spread, but we've just got to make sure that it happens as slowly, as a population, as slowly as possible, so that the healthcare systems can handle the number of people that are going to get sick through this.
So I mean, lastly, Megan, just tell the people why self-quarantine, self-isolation, staying at home is so important to stop the spread of this virus.
Okay, guys, so this virus is contracted from human to human contact. So if you're not in contact with humans, you're not going to contract it. But the virus can also live on surfaces. And so if you go into public places, if you touch public areas, public things, objects, whatever it is possible that you can pick up the virus on whatever part of your body you're touching something. And that's where hand sanitizer comes in. The virus cannot infect you if you kill it. So if you touch something, if you go to public places, make sure that you sanitize yourself straight away, so that if the virus gets onto your hand, anywhere, that you kill it before it goes into your respiratory tract. Also, don't touch your face. If you have maybe been out, become aware of how much you touch your face. When you start thinking about it, it's actually quite crazy. So keep your hands away from your face, keep hand sanitizer with you, and quarantining is the safest way to prevent you or any of your family members or anyone that you live with from contracting this very, very contagious virus. That's in a personal capacity. on a bigger scheme of things, because, I mean, you guys know we're going into lockdown on Thursday, and I'm sure your life is being severely affected by lockdown. Okay, there's a lot of people who can work online and can carry on working, but there's way more people who can't. I've got my own business, and all of my factory workers, they are not going to be working until the economy starts again. So basically, the reason that this is so important to take seriously is because the longer that, the crazier that this gets out there, the longer that we're going to have to be on lockdown, and the more severe this is going to be for the economy as a whole, the more severe this is going to be for people's jobs restarting again. So we've got to take this seriously in our individual capacity, so that it has the least impact possible on the country, so that we can just get back to our normal lives.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah.
Megan, and then just lastly, the mask thing, do you wear it when you go to the shops after lockdown? Does it work? Because I've read it doesn't.
Yeah.
Some people say it does. So how effective is it? And should people actually buy those masks and wear them?
If you can get hold of them, geez, I think, they're so sold out everywhere, which is also another whole aspect to this whole debacle, is just how it's so difficult to get supplies.
Yeah.
But anyway, yes, masks do help. I know there's a lot of rumors about a lot of things out there. And that's also what Jules and I are trying to do on our platform, is just to tell you guys exactly what it's like having it firsthand. But basically, the mask is definitely going to help. If you think that you might have the coronavirus, it's definitely going to help it getting into the air, so stopping spreading it. I would definitely think, if anyone thinks that they might have it, I would definitely say wear a mask. But it, of course, is going to help the bug or the virus not get into your respiratory tract. It's a physical barrier between the virus being out there and your mouth. So definitely masks can help, that's for sure.
All right, perfect. And then when will you know that you can go out into the public again after your second test? How long are you waiting to actually see the road again?
Yeah, we're waiting for our results to come back. Hopefully we're going to get that very soon.
Okay.
And then if we test negative, then we can go back out. But if we're positive, then no. But I mean, having said that, we're going into lockdown now, and I do not want to be the reason that anyone else picks up this virus. I don't want that on my shoulders. Like, my whole family and I, we've taken our quarantine really, really seriously, because we just don't want to be one of those people who has been the reason that someone else has picked this up, because then it has an exponential spread.
No, totally.
Yeah.
Okay, but madam, thanks so much for your time. Really, really appreciate it. So much value bombs in this conversation. And all the best with your recovery. I hope the second test comes back and you are negative.
Thank you so, so much. And yeah, well done for all the positivity that you're sharing in your community.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot, Megan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.